So one time I was fucking this girl on the beach, right? And all this sand was getting on her stomach. And I was feeling sad, so I cried a tear into the sand. And I was also feeling nauseous, so I blew chunks into the sand and the tears. And I had a pimple, right? So I popped the pimple, and the pus mixed in with the sand and the tears and the puke on her stomach. And then I pulled out of her, and she was on her period, so my dick was covered in blood. And while I dangled my dick over her, all the blood mixed in with the puke and the tears and the pus. And then I peed on her, and the pee mixed in with the puke and the sand and the tears. And I had to take a shit, so I turned around and dumped on her. So then there was just shit, blood, tears, piss. And then some neighborhood bullies came over, and they spit on her. And the spit mixed in with the sand and the puke and the pus and the blood. And then an oil tanker crashed, and the oil came up on her stomach and mixed in with the sand and the puke and the piss and the pus and the tears. And then a seagull that was covered in oil ended up on her stomach. And then the feathers mixed in with the oil and the piss and the blood and the shit and the spit and the pus. And then the Dawn people showed up and cleaned the seagull off. So then the Dawn mixed in with the blood and the piss and the shit and the oil. And then a plane flew overhead and dropped glass. And then the glass just mixed in with the shit and the piss and the blood. And then a confetti cannon went off, and the confetti mixed in with the shit and the piss and the blood and the fucking pus and the sand. And then that kind of made me hard and real horny, and it made me bust. And then the cum mixed in with the shit and the pus and the piss and the confetti and the feathers and the Dawn and the oil and the blood and the shit and whatever else. I may have said something twice there. So what I did was I took all this shit on her stomach and I mixed it together into a glass. And I drank it. And I was like, man, this tastes gross. But not as gross as a green drink from a vegan restaurant.